This is a brief video on reverse interlinears, what they are and what you can do with them. They're actually very important. They've been pioneered by the company I work for, Logos Bible Software, and they will revolutionize your ability to do word studies in Greek and Hebrew and Aramaic, even if you don't know the languages, even if you're just working with an English Bible. Okay? So on the screen we have the ESV. This is a portion of Psalm 24, verses 5 through 10. And, it just looks like a normal Bible would, in digital form. And that's all that it is. It's the ESV. However, there's a lot more here than meets the eye. If I want to visually see Greek and Hebrew information, there's an icon at the top I can click. I've clicked on Lord. The column is highlighted in blue. I can navigate through the verse, salvation. There we get our Hebrew word for that. Righteousness, our Hebrew word for that. But you get a lot more information here than you realize. The lines in the box here tell you different things. The manuscript line is the form of the Hebrew word as it appears in the Hebrew Bible. And then it's transliterated into English letters so you can pronounce it. Tzedakah. The lemma is the dictionary form of the word. That is also transliterated. Then we get grammatical information. We hover over it. It's a noun. It's a common, feminine, singular, absolute noun. Again, you may or may not know what that is, but you could always look it up in a grammar or a grammar glossary here in Logos. You get the Strong's number, and then you get the sense of the word. It's a semantic line. Well, that's all well and good, but what do you do with that? Well, we can right-click on a term we want. We see we get a window to do searching. But the amazing thing is even if I shut off the Hebrew stuff, if I right-click, let's say, on the word mighty here, I get the same window. You can actually run searches in Hebrew from English. Let's do one. So we've got Gibor here. I'm going to make sure the lemma is selected. And then I'm going to search this resource, which is this Bible. So now we learned that Gibor occurs 159 times in 152 verses in the Hebrew Bible, but yet we're looking at English. Now the reason this works is because somebody had to hand link every word of a translation, in this case the ESV, to the segment of the Hebrew, Aramaic, or in the case of the New Testament, Greek text from which the translation derived. Somebody did that. I did the King James Version, both Testaments. It took me about a year doing 2 or 3 hours a day. That was part of my job at work. That's how these things are created. And look what you can do with them. You don't have to know even the alphabet to be able to search for a Hebrew word and get all the occurrences. Now, if you wanted to add a version, let's say, well, do I really know that's in Hebrew? Well, let's add a version. LHB is the Lexham Hebrew Bible. And you'll notice they're highlighted in both. Gibor, 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 Gibor. Okay, that's what we're looking at. It really works. It really does what I'm saying it does. Now let's close this. Well, before I do that, you can look at the results in different ways. There's an align view. Analysis view is kind of interesting. This is a spreadsheet, essentially, view of what we're getting here. And the neat thing about this is you can move things around. If I can select lemma, I put them over here, drag a column here, and then it sorts the information by lemma. I mean, we search for a lemma, so it's not a big deal in terms of this. But there are different ways that you can, search for the information and arrange it visually. Well, let's just close this and go back here, and we'll pick on maybe a different word here. Let's go with generation. We're going to right-click on generation, make sure our lemma is selected, and this time we're going to do Bible word study. And let's see if I can make the results here a little bigger so you can see them. Yep, there we go. This is a Bible word study report. Now, what you have here are a set of panes that you can open or close, just like you saw me doing there. And in the software, if you have a Hebrew lexicon, you can just click right to the word that you studied and get an entry on discussing that word. Here's a visualization of how this Hebrew word is translated in the ESV: generation, descendants, ages, so on and so forth. If you click on one of these parts of the word wheel, the software produces those verses that receive that translation of that Hebrew word. And there you go. You don't have to sort them manually yourself. They're all there. You can switch it around. Let's click on another one. There we get it. Again, the word wheel just arranges information for you. Now, there's a bunch of things you can do with this. Let me see what loaded here. You could go up to an add icon here and add, different things you want to see, or you can set it to shut things off you don't want to see. But the point is that your one right click pulls all this information about a Hebrew word, and you can do this in the New Testament, or a Greek word, and all you had to do was look at the English and know how to right click. That's it. Interestingly enough, we can do the reverse in the reverse interlinear. We can select the English word and run a Bible word study on that. Let's see, we go up here and find what we're looking for. Right there. And now we're running a Bible word study on an English word. And the interesting thing here is, again, it's in the center. That's the word we searched for. Now you can see all the different Hebrew words that get translated by this English word. Again, this would take you weeks and weeks and weeks, to do on your own, and you have to, learn a little bit, of the language. But with the reverse interlinears, you don't have to know any of that. You can get to information, you can get to books, you can run searches, and they can be really involved searches as well. If you know a little bit about language, let's just click on Lift Up, select not the lemma, but here we have a particular form of the lemma. In this case, the cal stem imperative, second masculine plural. You can actually search at that granular level, the exact form of the word in this resource. We're not going to run that, but just for the sake of time. There are a lot of things you can do through your English Bible with the tool called the reverse interlinear. Now, to get these, there's only one place you can get them. We're the ones who made them. Logos Bible Software. Logos.com is the address. They are available in all of the collections, all the base packages, and we have more than one. I think there are 7 different English translations that have been reverse interlinearized. This is ESV. I know we have NIV, NASB, KJV, New KJV. Again, there are a number of English translations, among the more popular ones, that have reverse interlinear capability. That's what you need, again, to do word study. Just through your English Bible, you can actually do this. You can actually study Greek and Hebrew through an English gateway. That's what reverse interlinears are.